Find yourself venturing into a world that is unfamiliar to you in every single way. All you have to your name is your wits and a broken phone that has no internet. But wait, you have the MidFall Podcast in your hands. Here you can listen to the tales of your three hosts, Luis, Josh, and Jared, as they venture through their own creative woes and whatnot. Get ready to be entertained through your wildest dreams as you conquer and face this new threatening world.
Hello, what is up, everybody? This is the MidFall Podcast. My name is Josh, and this is episode 12 of the second season. And I'm joined here today. On the leftmost is Jared, the Black Pumpkin.
Shmallow.
Say something, Jared.
Yeah. Y'all didn't hear me?
No.
I said shmallow.
That's so weird because it didn't light up. On the middll is Louis Ave, Louis AV.
I didn't even hear
Mr.
you.
MidFall himself. That's staying in it, bro. That's too funny. Jared can show the POV of what happened to him there. That'd be hilarious.
Dang. I'm hurt.
That's too damn funny. Okay. So before we start with the episode, I actually have another fairly packed episode, but I'm going to speedrun it for most of it for you guys. I did prepare you with a question that we are going to answer towards the end of the episode. But for now, do you guys have any announcements you want to make to the viewers or listeners of the Podge?
No, sir. Pretty much just go ahead and check out Josh's new training art video. Look out for Mr. J. Rod's freaking Doom series. And he'll probably give you an update on that. And new EP this month because there's a new month.
Yeah. Do you have any names in mind right now, or are you still brainstorming some names?
No. For the last two, I mean, I made them first and then the name came out. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I definitely see that as something. I think you've mentioned that before. You mentioned you're either close to finishing or you finished it, and then you came up with the name. Like you let us know before either the podcast episode or on the podcast episode.
Yeah, because I was like, look out for whatever the name is.
Yeah, I remember for Armor of Nothing, it was kind of like that. I like that name a lot too, though. I think you've had a really good track record with the names, so hopefully the next name is another hit.
Thanks. Yeah, appreciate it. That the pressure's on now.
Hell yeah. Okay, so I think if that's everything, anything else from you, Jared? Any announcements you want to make?
No, I don't really got any. Go on, man.
All right, so I don't know if you guys checked our Notion. For anyone that's listening, we have a Notion for our podcast and just, MidFall itself that we just post on every now and then. And sometimes we organize our thoughts onto the Notion, and if people want to look into it early, they can. However, it's honestly perfectly fine if you guys didn't, because the first question is going to be a surprise if you haven't seen this show before. Have you guys ever seen One Piece before?
No, sir. I mean, like, yes, but like when I was very little, fever dream
back when we were
type
like 4 kids or whatever. Toonami, that's what it was. What about you, Jared?
No.
Oh, my brother, I am all caught up, so I'm ready for whatever you have right now.
All right, so if you check, I'll put in the MidFall Podcast channel. There's a little guy right here. Everybody knows him as Tony Chopper. And I want to ask you guys the obvious question. Because I have my opinion, but I want to know your guys' opinion first. This is Tony Chopper. He's a reindeer that took, the devil fruit. I think it's called the human nomi. Is that what it's called, Jared?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he ate that. He wants to be a doctor and all that jazz. And so, he ate it. He has humanoid-like features, and he can transform into different forms. Now, the thing I want to ask you is, what is your opinion on the live-action Netflix One Piece show's rendition of the character? However, I'm going to post some pictures, and you can react to them as I post them. So the first picture I posted was from the anime. What are you guys' thoughts on the anime picture here?
I like it. He seems like a cool character.
Yeah.
He's just a little guy. He's just a little guy.
Handsome man.
I agree. He's a handsome little guy. He knows what he's doing. He's a doctor and everything. He takes care of people, all that jazz. Now, I believe this was one of the fan renditions. I can't find the one that I know of. I'll post 2 of them. Fans wanted him to look all cutesy like these 2 pictures that I'm posting. And, you know, these 2 pictures they're pretty good. Like, you can say, like, okay, yeah, I see what the fans were trying to cook. But you gotta also imagine, you know, realistically, do you think these 2 would look good next to human beings? So what do you guys think?
CGI, yeah. No, it would look much too fake.
Yeah. What do you think, Jared?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree to an extent. I think the first one looks better than the second one. I feel like the second one kind of hits that uncanny valley a little bit. But yeah, I do agree with what Luis was saying.
These can be concepts. Like, I like the concepts.
Exactly.
If you can make them better, like, and like expand upon them, then dope. Like, but yeah.
Yeah.
I like the top one then, like just like Jared said.
Yeah. And so this is the design that Netflix ended up releasing, and I want to know your guys' thoughts on this Tony Chopper design.
Well, it's I don't necessarily think it's it's not, you know, I mean, it's not great. I'm like trying to look back and forth, trying to really, you know, take it all in.
Yeah.
No, I'd say it's not so great, Chief.
Okay. What do you think, Jared?
Why does he have hands? Are those hands?
Yeah. You know, it's funny that you mention his hands because it's supposed to be like little hooves and whatnot. But yeah, no, I was there when freaking Twitter was talking about it, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's so ugly. He's so gross." But as time has, you know, taken place, I would say that I've gotten more used to this design. I do wish he was a little fatter. You know,
okay,
just a little
fatter. You know what?
That might actually
not even that.
be the
Just
issue.
like, not even that, dude. Like more fluff.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Like is a thing just a or like a
It's supposed to be
a bigger
like
belly.
Like a big little guy.
Yeah. I see what you guys are saying.
Little skinny fat little dude.
Yeah, that's really what it is. I feel like, dude, if I'm being honest, I actually like it. However, it's not perfect. Like, it could have been better, for sure. I can agree with you guys on that. But I will say he probably looks pretty good or pretty decent compared to, like, the human standing next to him. Like, he probably looks like he belongs, is what I'm hoping. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but like Alvin and the Chipmunks might be a great example. I'm not too sure if my memory's serving me right. Remember the Alvin and the Chipmunks live action movies, how back then it was amazing, but then each movie the CGI got slightly better.
Yeah. That's the most.
Yeah, I feel like that's what's going to happen with Chopper, where as the season or seasons go by, I don't think it's going to be within the season. As the seasons go by, I think the character is going to the model is just going to get better. I think they're going to listen to some fan complaints and maybe fluff them up a little bit or something. But I think it works, but I definitely think it could be better.
Yeah, it doesn't not work. I think it's a good placeholder, but it's, yeah.
Like,
it's
some
a
people...
start.
Exactly. Some people were comparing it to, like, the Sonic design from the original.
I was going to say, it could have been that.
It could have been that. It could have.
It could have been the original one.
And that's the thing that rubs me the wrong way is people were trying to claim it was already that, but it's really not. Like, it's actually pretty decent. There's just a few issues.
No, it's... Yeah.
But I agree with you.
Sorry. I was going to say, it's like the first... it's like asking for somebody to make a live action of this, but then this is the first draft that they gave you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I definitely think they get the two drafts are like, all right, we're good. This is it. We're going with this. And the artist is like, wait, what? Yeah, we're going with this. Are you sure? Like, I could make him fluffier. Nah, we're going with this. I feel like it was something like you just said. But at least it wasn't this. Like, Jared might know what I'm about to post, but this was something that fans made like a year or two ago, being like, this is what he should be. And so, this is like Sonic movie levels design, honestly.
Oh my god. It looks
Oh,
like
no, that's worse.
straight out of like
That's
fucking
worse.
Meat Canyon.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like,
for
oh
real.
my god. Like the facial stretching or condensing parts that he does in his videos. I think, Luis, you know what I'm talking about, but yeah.
Phone home.
Oh,
my
yeah,
God.
it looks like something like that.
Overall, though, I what would you guys rate it out of 10, the chopper design? Like, out of 10, what would you give it?
Out of 10, and I'm really giving this a hard time, being like, one is like, and I'm saying like the Sonic design, the first one was like a 2,
Yeah.
right, or a 3, because you can make out that it's Sonic, you know, if you look at it. So it's like, oh, but that's like a really bad Sonic. So I guess I would give it that. It's like he's only really recognizable because of the hat.
Okay.
Almost, kind of. And that's just because the hat has the X. Like, I feel like his horns aren't even, like... I feel like his horns could have been better. But,
Yeah.
what was I gonna say? I would give it a 5 or a 4.5.
Yeah.
I give it a 5. It could be better everywhere. But it could be
True.
worse everywhere.
Honestly, I'd give it like 5 to 6.
Yeah.
5 to 6. Like the blueprints are there. Like Luis was saying, it could be way better, but it also could be way worse.
Oh, 100%. It could have been Sonic level. It could have been honestly worse than that. I feel like we've had worse, we just don't remember. But I think I agree with you guys. If I'm being honest, I would probably give it around like a 6.5. Like, it's a passing grade in some states, you know what I mean? However, it's not perfect. It's definitely gonna get better is what I hope. And I think one thing that One Piece fans know is that there's like a major time skip that happens. And I feel like that's probably when Chopper will look even better, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Yeah, especially with that kind of like design.
Yeah, I definitely think so.
I think,
We can lean more towards the cute side with the later version of Chopper. And the later version is like the outfit that I sent Luis is his later version, just not as cute. Here's a picture of what he looks like in the future after the time skip. Like, clearly he looks different compared to his initial design at the very top. It's like he's more rounded and stuff like that. I guess he's more well fed. He's grown up a little bit.
He got a big old head.
Yeah, his head's grown for sure. But I guess that's what comes with being a doctor, as people say. Big brain equals intelligence, of course, or big head. But for the next thing I wanted to bring up, that was honestly like the first topic I came up with, and I knew I had to bring that up first because it has that shock value, you know? But I think it's time that we talk about a current event that is very important to many of us, exclusively me in this call, to be honest. Jared might care a little bit, but basically the NBA Finals are upon us, and it is Oklahoma City Thunders versus the Indiana Pacers. Now, I want you guys to know this is a 7-game series. These are the 2 team logos. Left is Pacers, right is Thunder. I want you guys to think about this. There's a 7-game series on the line here. You have to win 4 games to win the whole thing, win the championship for this year. In your artistic opinion, just like last time, based on just the logos, who do you think will win the first game? And just overall wise, just based off logo, name, anything you might know, who do you think will win the whole thing at the NBA Finals?
Based on vibes.
Just vibes.
Pacers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you both think they'll win game 1 and the finals?
The finals.
Okay.
They'll take it all.
Purely off of vibes.
Dude. And I'll tell you what, I'm vibing.
Preface.
Now, if I'm being honest, I like the Pacers vibes slightly better than the Thunder, purely based off the logos. I was never a big fan of the orange and blue combo, if I'm being perfectly honest. So yeah, just based off that.
It just gives me Sky High vibes. I don't know why.
No, actually true. It definitely does that. You know, it's that futuristic vibe with superpowers and stuff.
Yeah.
But there's actually a tweet that was posted. I'll send a picture. You know what? I'll send a tweet so you guys can read it if you want to, but I'll read it out loud. Mainly the picture is what matters. Let me actually embed it for you guys so you don't have to open it. But in this tweet, someone posted a picture of, you know, the capital of Indiana. I think it's Cincinnati or that's Ohio, no? But they sent the picture of Indiana, and then they sent the picture of Oklahoma City, the states between them, and where the arenas are. And it's roughly like an 11 to 12 hour drive. And people were saying, oh, it's fun to have an NBA Finals where driving distance is between each other, like it's possible to go between them. And someone quote tweets it saying, people from the middle of the US are insane. They think everything is a driving distance. But in your guys' opinion, is this 12-hour drive between, 12 or less hour drive between the arenas, is that doable in your opinion? Like if you were a super fan, you could afford tickets for every single game, would you do this drive back and forth every time?
Christ, no.
No.
Christ, no. That is...
No.
Okay.
If it was half that, then you can make a day thing out of it. I'm gonna stay in the city, and if it's a nice fucking place to get away with, and I'm saying like maybe every other game or like what, like I don't know, man. But whatever the fuck, if it was half that, then once every 3 months, once every 4 months, maybe, if that.
Yeah.
Honestly, maybe even twice a year.
Yeah.
But freaking double that, nah.
That's true.
I'm fine at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to agree.
You know, if it was like 6 to 8 hours, max 8 hours, I would actually consider it. 8 hours is not too bad, but it's still annoying as hell. 6 hours is definitely doable, like you said. So I agree for sure.
Now, would I do this? Maybe like once in my lifetime. You know what I mean? If I lived there, I mean.
Yeah. I think it'd have to be like a life-changing type of event that like, I need to go to this. I need to be there and witness this for myself type of thing, you know? I'm not sure if the Pacers
look at the guy from that.
Yeah. I'm not
so
sure.
funny. I'm just like, I got nothing else to do. I'll go see the game, you know?
Oh, you're
and
like,
I'll
yeah.
take like a couple friends with me on a road trip.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Honestly, that's low key. If I'm okay, this is very off topic, but if and when I have like a bachelor party, us going somewhere and doing like a mini road trip is kind of the vibe I want to do. That's kind of
We've already done this.
yeah, and it was fun. That's why I want to do it again. I think it'd be fun as hell.
Yeah.
Especially
No, it was dope. It was cool.
For anyone that's listening, Luis and I wanted to do a road trip since we were kids, and we finally did it as adults. However, I think we need to do another one. I think we need to do another one. It was fun.
You hear that, Erwin?
It'll be the four of us.
Yeah.
3 of us plus Erwin. And then Siren.
Chirp. You hear that chirp?
You know what? Might as well invite Glenn again.
And Glenn.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think
You gotta complete the vibes.
this group is the group. It'll be fun as hell.
That's
We'll figure it out.
look out for the next time that we actually, record it, I guess, or something.
Yeah, we'll vlog it. Dude, okay, if we had recorded that last road trip we did, that would have been crazy. There were some really cool moments. Like,
If we had recorded the freaking second that we got into Utah, because for some reason we got into Utah, we were like, everybody we just screamed "Welcome to Utah" as we crossed into like by the sign, and it hit in the middle of this like early 2000s like rock song, and it just felt different, you know?
yeah. Like it was one of those moments where if you recorded it, it would have felt like one of those high school vlogs where everyone looks like an adult but they're high schoolers, like that type of shit. It was like that. It was pretty fun. But it's in the past. We'll definitely do something for that in the future and record it. I think the 3 of us would make it a hell of a cool vibe, but I think adding other people would be even more fun if we could do that. Alright, so it looks like you guys are guessing the Pacers. Okay. However, there was something one of you guys said. I don't know if it was me or someone else, but someone mentioned like powers or superpowers or something like that.
Me, Sky High, you mentioned powers.
Yes. So, there's actually a game that they released a trailer like 5 or so months ago. And there's some of these devs for this game are the devs that made like the Walking Dead game and stuff like that, the Telltale series thing. And I wanted to play a trailer for you guys if you want to peep my screen here. Let me go ahead and open it up. Now, this game, it looks very interesting. I'll explain it briefly for you guys.
Game?
It's currently on Steam as a demo. I already got the demo. I'm gonna play it, but I do want to record videos in this one that's fully out. This game is called Dispatch. You're basically a guy that used to be like a hero, or I guess a superhero in the society. And then he has like a mecha suit. He lost his suit. It was from his father. And so this place is like an office that employs past heroes to be dispatchers for current heroes. So you're in the office choosing who to dispatch, what pairings to make, and stuff like that. Dispatch. And guess what? Aaron Paul apparently is the main character. Jack Septiceye and Moist Critical are in the game? I didn't even know that.
No.
I recognize a few of these names. That's crazy. Okay. I've noticed there's a trend of games, there's a trend of games using, like, not using, but employing streamers or just YouTubers in general, I guess.
Audience type thing.
Yeah, and so like them being voice actors on the game kind of like helps them get an audience at the very start. But I don't know if they're doing that for this one, but it does look pretty cool. So let me know what you guys think of the game. Like, what did you think of the trailer?
Yeah, it looked dope. I can definitely kind of, I guess, see how the concept is. I can see how, like, Telltale could have made a game like this.
Yeah.
Like, I could tell, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it looks dope. Like, I like that take.
What do you
It's
think,
very
Jay?
interesting.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like they could have just even made a whole series out of it instead of a game.
I know, right?
I feel like just from the cutscenes alone and all that, like, it felt like it was just like its own thing. Like, like how Luis was saying, it was like Iron Man on Nickelodeon.
Yes, the Iron Man show. Iron Man Armored Adventures. Is that what it was called?
Yeah.
That show's good. That theme song, goated. One of the best theme songs for a superhero show for sure. Like, I think it's probably like 4th place behind things like Ben 10. What other show has a really good theme song that's like superhero-ish? Superhero Squad, Loki had a good song. You remember that show?
No, actually, I don't.
You guys haven't seen that show? Have you seen it, Jared?
I barely remember it. It was like with they almost looked like little figures, right?
Yep, they look like little bobblehead action figure type of things. It was really weird, but it was kind of cool at the same time. I don't know, it warmed up on you pretty quick. But it was decent. But I wanted to ask you guys, like, what are your thoughts? It's actually good that you bring up shows type of thing, Luis. Like, what are your thoughts on these games where your choices affect the outcome of certain characters? And then, have you noticed a trend of video games starting to feel more like movies and or shows?
I watched, I don't know how much of it, but I watched plenty of the Walking Dead one. I think I watched up to 2 or 3 seasons, and then I think I watched. I watched all of Life is Strange. I also watched what's the other one? The Wolf or whatever.
Yeah, The Wolf Among Us or something.
Yeah, Wolf Among Us.
Okay, yeah. I haven't played that one. But
I also watched that partially.
Cool.
So I mean, I played Life is Strange, and I played through the Walking Dead, but I mainly watched them first.
Same.
Before I played through them.
Okay. Yeah, so
I like them.
Yeah, you do like them. That's pretty
They're
dope.
well executed.
Isn't the Batman games kind
other-
of had that too, right? Or was it kind of different with the Batman games?
I don't know. I didn't play the Batman games, but I believe that there were some like choice aspects to it. I mean, the first game that I remember playing like this was what's it called? Spider-Man Web of Shadows, where you had the good choices and the bad choices, and you could kind of let the symbiote take over the city and whatnot if you go with the bad choice. But yeah, I also I've played those the horror games. I forget what studio makes them, but the same ones that made Until Dawn, Man of Medan.
Yeah.
And I played where they use real actors and they like 3D model them or whatever. I played the one of the actor, I forget his name, the one of the actor that's like, you guys are getting paid?
Yes, the guy who plays Adam Warlock.
Yeah. It was where they go into a town or where their bus gets stranded.
Will Poulton.
In a town and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. I like those games. Those games I actually like to play through. I haven't played through one of them in a long time, maybe like a couple, like 2 or 3 years. But I do enjoy them.
Hell yeah, that's dope. How about you, Jared? I'll reread the question real quick. There's what are your thoughts on games that your choices do affect the outcome, and have you noticed a trend in some games feeling like a film and or show?
Oh yeah, I mean, I would say since probably like the 360 PS3 era of gaming, you've noticed a real spike in more cinematic directions when it comes to games. And honestly, having that aspect into video games, as well as different paths that you can go, like it adds so much replayability to a game. Like it's absolutely wonderful, especially if like all the choices that you do have long-standing consequences in the game. Like that's literally the best thing, because then you can just be like, oh man, you know, I really enjoyed this, but I really wish I didn't choose that. So next time I'm gonna go this whole different direction and see where that goes. Like I actually had a friend who was playing Cyberpunk, and he pretty much was going through the story as usual, all that. I think he was like maybe doing like a side mission, and he ended up just like kind of like humoring this one NPC for a while, and then, you know, the NPC kind of fucked him over, so he had to kill him. And so he's just like, damn, I wish I just like killed him from the start, that way I didn't have to like deal with all that. And so I think that's a really, really good thing to have within gaming nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
And especially if it fits the story.
Because the standards get higher with every like iteration, I feel like, type of thing. Like you just have to learn how to, not learn, but new games that come out have to adjust, you know, so they either have to do something better, like take the cinematic route, or just have better like gameplay mechanics.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like we're getting much of either, but I mean with this it looks like we'll be getting what's it called, some good story.
Yeah, I think the story, and also just there's some uniqueness to it. I'm sure other games have done this, where like there was a moment where they showed the stats of the heroes that you could send in, like the stats conflicting. That was kind of cool. So I'm wondering if like you send in the wrong group of heroes and somehow it works out, and then there's just a moment where you have to keep redoing the same part because you keep sending in the wrong pairings, and you have to figure it out, or you just deal with the consequences like you guys said. And I think it's really cool. I'm a big fan of games like that. I haven't played too many of them. I know The Walking Dead. I used to watch the shit out of that back when we were younger, the video game. And then the Telltale series one. And then I just remember there actually is a Batman Telltale series game, and there's also like the Arkham game.
You're right. Yeah.
So I think we were thinking of the Arkham games temporarily, but the Telltale.
Yeah, I was.
That one, I've heard a little bit about it. I've seen a friend play it, and it looked pretty good. It looked pretty cool actually. There's a lot of. Like,
I think I watched a little bit of it too.
Yeah, I watched like some of the moments with Two-Face, and those were kind of cool. So I'll give it credit. It was pretty dope. But then for me, I had a debate with a coworker once back when I interned in 2019, and he was like, have you noticed that there's a lot of games starting to become like movies? Actually, it was 2022 that I had this debate. And it wasn't even a debate, it was just a discussion. A lot of games have started to do that movie route, and I think it's honestly working out for video games. It's kind of showing people, it's kind of like appealing more to the masses is what I actually could say. I feel like a lot of people, they watch shows, for example, and they're like, what the hell is this person doing? They're such an idiot, they should have done this. Okay, well, no, you're the person. Go do it. Like, oh, you didn't like the choice you made? Reverse it. Go do this instead. I think a lot of people actually are somewhat big fans of being able to affect the outcome of a story and feel like they're important to the story when they are, of course, the main character usually. So I think it's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to playing this. Hopefully it's not too expensive. That's one gripe I have with some games. They kind of feel expensive to play. Like Baldur's Gate 3 was expensive, but it was so cool because all your decisions actually do affect how you play the game. It doesn't affect the whole game, but it affects how you play some of the game, which is pretty dope. Yeah. However, now we're on to the final topic, fellas. Now, I did bring this up to you guys before the episode, and it's okay if you don't have an answer. If you want to come up with them while I'm reading out the question, it's perfectly fine. And I can even read out my answers for you guys first if you guys want. But let's go ahead and get started with the question. The question is, if you had to create a concert, like a music event, and you had to pick 2 headliners and then some artists, to perform after or between or before them, who would you pick? So you need 2 headliners and 3 non-headliners around that. You can pick more if you want, even less if you want, just depends on your vibe. And where would you even throw it? Like a football stadium, a small theater, or like in a bar if it's a really small event, etc. And then what are you calling the event? Like there's South by Southwest, XXSW, Austin City Limits, or ACL. So what do you guys think?
You can take the first one on this one, Jared.
So for mine, at least, I was thinking for headliners, a good combination of the group The Internet and Tyler the Creator as the headliners. Because they've worked with each other before, and and a lot of the members there were part of Odd Future as well. So I think it would all like mesh pretty well. In terms of the non-headliners, I would say Janelle Monáe would be fantastic on there. Amine would be great, and a group called Phony People. I think it would just all fit like that vibe that's kind of going on in there. And in terms of venues, initially I was thinking some are big, some are massive. I was thinking like a Madison Square Garden type of feel. But honestly, I feel like just kind of a chill outside venue, like nothing like too elaborate or extravagant, I guess is probably the better word to use. But yeah, something just kind of chill. Something just kind of vibey. And
something kind of like what Kanye would have, or I guess Travis Scott. I don't know if Travis Scott, but because Kanye would have his listening parties, not listening parties, but you know what I mean?
I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Or Drake, I guess, too, is also, has some chill
stuff sometimes. Yeah, something nothing. Well, nothing, crazy for it. Yeah. And what would I call it? And that was the one that I couldn't really, get a good name for.
Jared's Music Fest.
Jared's.
Black Pumpkin Records.
Hell no. Let's call it I did put a name down. I don't know if I totally like it or not. Blog Era Slow Jam.
Okay.
Yeah. So something like that, since they all kind of came out around the blog era.
Yeah. It's actually funny that you kind of mentioned era stuff, because my idea is kind of era-ish, I guess. I'm not too sure, but yeah.
For me, it's pretty obvious, but I'm gonna have Bones headlining it along with Suicide Boys.
All right.
Thankfully, that's actually happening this September. Wow, finally.
Wow.
And I would actually have it at the Chase Center. Something like that would be cool, I feel like.
That's pretty dope.
And I would also have something like Young Lean right before them, before the opening event. And I would also probably have, let me think. Yeah, I don't know. That's as far as, actually, that's what I had. I would also have 99Z and Saliva Gray before Young Lean as well. And that's probably it, honestly. Just probably those two openers. If I'm gonna have it also with one more very niche kind of opener, I would have this guy named Plato or whatever, PL, whatever. Because he's a smaller producer, so I feel like having a small person lead up to the bigger people would be cool, just like a normal one.
Yeah.
But Chase Center, and I don't know what I would have it be called.
Luis's Music Festival.
I would just called Meet Me in MidFall, and I would actually have it MidFall space,
Hell yeah, that's dope. Yeah. I like your guys' idea so far, because mine is kind of on a similar, you guys chose artists where the music, I wouldn't say coincides, but it could blend in a sense. Certain songs fit really well with the artists that are performing before or after them. Would you feel like it's like that, guys, or do you think your artists are starkly different genres per se?
No, they're similar to where like the vibe is pretty similar, but it's also like there's different like takes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
how
feel
I
like
feel.
I would want it like as more like a performance type thing, I guess, like that Jared has, but like still being chill from a maybe viewer's perspective, but also being like a lot of energy though at the same time coming from the stage.
Hell yeah. That would be dope.
Yeah.
Especially
Like I'm not
having-
looking for bangers.
Yeah,
I'm looking for like curated playlists that like will go with each artist, you know what I mean?
for sure.
Like, and then like each artist actually making it kind of like, oh, it's gonna start like this, and then we're gonna finish off like this. You know?
That'd be dope.
But yeah,
I can see that being cool. I like both of you guys' decisions for sure. I think the venue is also pretty cool that you guys chose pretty different venues, I would say. Like, Jared, you said you wanted more of a chill vibe, right?
Yeah.
And then Luis is like, give me Chase Center, bro. Give me Chase Center. He wants the audio to be in that giant stadium.
yeah.
Couple.
Yeah.
All right, so my choices, you know, at first I was going to go 21 Pilots, but then I was like, wait a minute.
I knew it.
Let me change it up. Because 21 Pilots is actually one of my favorite, if not my favorite band. And I really like them. They're actually releasing a new album. I think it's like a double something or something like that.
Really
Motorcycle
good.
outside. But yeah, but I changed it up. I decided my headliners are going to be Coldplay and Red Hot Chili Peppers. The reason being, Jared kind of mentioned
Also
this.
a very Josh take.
A very Josh take, but the theme behind it is artists that are kind of like very big in the recent past to artists that are currently, in my opinion, like pretty damn good that I would like to see them perform at the same venue with, I guess. I don't know if they've ever done this. Some of them are very different, but they're kind of similar, I guess. But I've listened to this band or this artist called the Backseat Lovers. They're pretty good, and so I'd want them to be one of the artists performing before the headliners, of course. And you know, they have songs like Davy Crochet, that one's pretty good. So yeah, that's an artist. And then another artist is this duo named Ali and AJ. I think the two of them, these girls, they're really good. I have a few of their songs downloaded, and they kind of make like it's kind of melodical, I guess. I don't know if melodical is the right word, but they sing in a way, it's not the right word. They sing in a way where it sounds really, really nice. It's very like easy to like sway side to side to. But yeah, their song Slow Dancing is pretty good. If you guys ever want to slow dance with someone, that's a good slow dancing song. And then the last artist being Mount Joy, MT Joy. They have some good ass music. They made a song called Astrovan. If you guys ever get bored, listen to that song, it's pretty good. And all three of those artists kind of remind me of Coldplay and or Red Hot Chili Peppers ever so slightly. So I think it'd be pretty dope if all five of them performed at the same venue. My venue would be, I did some research on this because I kind of had the idea of it being at like a canyon of sorts. I was like, oh, the Grand Canyon. But then I was like, let me look up a little bit of some canyons that have performances. I think the Grand Canyon does have a music festival, but I don't want to do it there. So then I asked ChatGPT, and it gave me this name called Tuacan.
Oh, it's in New Mexico, I think.
So it said it's near Zion. So like, is that near New Mexico? I'm not
Oh,
too
Utah.
sure. Utah, yeah. That's what it was.
Yeah. I know. Yeah.
And so this would be dope, especially because at night it looks like this, and it kind of has like this purpley vibe with the lights, and it looks really, really cool. So I could definitely see this being a dope ass venue. And then I would call the event Melody and Methodology. So I couldn't come up with anything else.
That's dope.
And it can abbreviate to M&M.
That's dope.
So yeah, that'll be my music venue idea. If anybody steals this, you'll be hearing from the MidFall channel. I swear.
Yo.
I
Josh
see-
Incorporated.
Yeah, if I see those five artists performing at freaking Tuacan Amphitheater and the event is called this, that's crazy, you know?
You'll be receiving a fucking letter from Josh.
Yeah, a cease and
You'll be
desist
hearing
letter.
from our lawyers, Metal Bat Incorporated.
Facts. But yeah, that was my last topic for the podcast. Do you guys have anything else you want to say for the episode?
No, sir. Just EP coming. EP coming, and that's it.
Hell yeah. What about you, Jarud?
Keep streaming Armor Nothing and all that.
Yeah.
Game across script.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Keep on listening to it all. Keep on watching Yosh's episode.
Yeah.
And make sure to also watch the Doom series that I made on the new Respawn channel. So, yeah.
Yeah, if you guys want an easier way to find all these things we just said, there's a link tree linked below on the YouTube channel if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're on Spotify, if you can search up MidFall on YouTube, for example, or just linktree/MidFall, I believe is what it's called. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Yeah, that's how you find us, and we have all our links there. It's very easy because we put it all there for you guys, and we'll make sure to keep it updated like we have been. And yeah, this episode was really fun, so thanks guys for recording this one and getting into the topics. I really enjoyed it. When it comes to the training arc videos that are going to come out in the future, I'm going to try to get some content, like I said last episode in the podcast, of me playing in Brazil, so look forward to that. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I have more videos recorded for episode 2 of my training arc, so I will try to get that edited very soon. Episode 1 is out. It's on the MidFall channel. Jared's series is on the No Respawn channel for anyone that doesn't know. So make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel here. Like the podcast on Spotify, leave a heart or thumbs up anywhere you see it. And yeah, make sure you guys follow and subscribe, and we'll see you all in the next episode. Douches.
Peace out.
Peace out.